creating a piece about sleep is a massive challenge.
Awakenings happened, it was a real true story about a group of patients.
These patients had fallen into a sleeping sickness in the 1920s, which had kind of been a worldwide epidemic.
A condition that actually leaves its patients completely motionless. They are unable to tell themselves to move.
So Oliver Sacks heard about these patients and had an interest to possibly use the drug L-Dopa, and he felt that maybe it might have some effect for these patients. So miraculously they sort of came out of these comas. And what that does to you when you look in the mirror and you see that you've got a beard, and you know, before you fell asleep you hadn't even hit puberty. The original concept for Awakenings was dreamt up by the composer Tobias Picker.
I wanted to write an opera based on Awakenings, but nobody wanted it. No one could envision it as an opera, so no one wanted to produce it. And then it occurred to me that, well, maybe it really is more suited to dance. Because I have Tourette syndrome. My music has Tourettic characteristics, and this piece gave me an opportunity to actually address that head on, and to use the Tourette's consciously as almost a compositional tool.
It's like no kind of timing that you can recognise, and nothing that I've listened to before. So this is Rambert's wardrobe department, and we're just going to speak to Caroline. We've come to have a look.
Okay.
I've brought the crew with me.
Okay, hello, 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 hello.
So we're in the early stages at the moment, so it's all fairly rough.
We go in the end. Yeah, the designer's very much got in her head that she wants each character to have a very individual look. You can see this is sort of the palette that we were looking at.
We've worked initially individually with Aletta Collins, so she worked with us on her own in the studio, and we were given set characters, which actually is quite unusual in modern dance. Sometimes choreographers will come in and they really know what they want. They'll teach you the steps, you do it, they tell you how to do it, and it's done. But this, because of the nature of what it was, and it's a lot more experimental and also a lot more sensitive than maybe a normal piece might be, Aletta's really drawn from us.
The dancers have to be very imaginative, they have to be very brave, they have to have a lot of stamina to stick with that idea all day and see if they can come up with a movement phrase that embodies what Aletta's asked them to do.
So she might say to me in the first couple of weeks, show me what freedom looks like, which as a dancer, it's quite a difficult thing. You know, we do things like pretend that you're in the Bambi forest, so things that might look terrible, but from that you might just get a tiny chunk of something that looks like freedom. So she actually asked me to write some words to tell her how he might feel. It started in my right hand. Now that's all I can move. When was the last time you were really still? I took this in the next day, and Aletta said, that's great, let's make a solo out of it. We took this idea of my right hand and that it would all start here, and that's one of the first things you see. So the first thing is here, and then the shake comes up and I would press it down, and then again, and then down, and then look. So we're just about to go into the final 4 weeks, and we have a piece made. And Aletta will now probably rip it apart and we'll do a brand new version.
they're not portrayed absolutely literally. So it won't be you've read the book and now you recognise the character on stage.
It was definitely a consideration that we were dealing with real people and real experiences. Through doing that, it just made me not want to mimic an experience, but to sort of find what it might mean to me and show that on stage.
Because after all, it's about movement and motion and motionlessness. And so it's really what dance is about.
I presume there's never been a ballet that's been done about people who've been in a coma. So I think people will find that, I would find that interesting as an audience member, just to see how it's been done.
This is a timeless story, and because the book is so profound and moving, we hope some of that comes through in our work.